Good morning, all. So, in the previous class, we have discussed the syllabus for the control engineering, and briefly we have gone through the basics of the control engineering. Okay, so just briefly go through what we discussed in the previous class. So, we have discussed how the control system plays a very important role in the modern science. In our daily activities also, control system plays a very important role. You take our TV remote control, you take our AC, you take our uh, refrigerator also. So all these systems, the electronic items or electronic systems are one other way are working based on the control system. So this is what a domestic. If you see even as I told, we discussed, control system plays a very important role in the aerospace. You take a defense while launching the missiles and launching the satellites. That means in the space industry. So such that control system is a very important aspect of a modern technology. So that's why it is very important to understand and analyze and able to design for an engineer the control system. And also we have discussed some of the terms like what is a system and what is a control system, what is a input, what is the output, what is the disturbances. So these are some of terms we have discussed. Then we went through the types of control systems. One is natural control system, which is made by nature. Second one is man-made control systems like four-wheeler or a helicopter or aeroplane. So whatever the refrigerator, something like that, whatever the electronic appliances made by the human, that is what a man-made control system. The third one is a combinational control system. So that is a combination of nature as well as a man-made. That is what you take four-wheeler, but to have four-wheeler, to make it to run, you need a human to run it. So that is a controller. So that is called as what a combined control systems. Then we have seen fourth type, time invariant and time variant control systems. Then deterministic and stochastic control systems, single input and multiple output, as well as multiple input and multiple output control systems. So these are the types of control systems we have discussed in the previous class briefly. So in the today's class, we'll go through two important type of a control system. One is open loop control system as well as the closed loop control system. We'll see advantages, disadvantages with the real-time applications of these two. Okay, so first come for a open loop control system. So how you define open loop control system? So it is the system where the output is dependent on the input. The system in which the output is dependent on the input, or we can say another way, the input is completely independent of the output. So whatever the changes in the system may be happening, but that does not affect the input. The input will be constant. The input will be always constant, it will not vary. So whatever the changes happened, the output will be, the input will be same. So as well as it will give the output according to that. Okay, so a simple block diagram for open loop control system, just you can see here. So what we have, input. So input is called as a reference input, that is R of t. Then it will pass signal to the controller, which will generate the manipulated signal. Okay, what action to be taken. Then it will send that signal to the process, which will do its based on the signal to do the work. So then we will get from the process, we will get the controlled output. So just repeat. So input, that is called as a reference input, R of t will be given to the controller, which will generate a manipulated signal, so that what action to be taken to the process. The process is the one which will do the actual work and give to the controlled output, that is called as a C of t. So C is the controlled, T is a time function. Okay, so now what are the simple examples for a open loop system? Now you take the very simple examples are what our regulator. Okay, just a minute. So very good example for our open loop control system, or what we can take electric switch, the lamp, what we have, the lamp, or you can say the fan what we're using in the home, fan also a open loop system. Okay, so some more are there like traffic controller. Okay, and automatic door opening and closing, we'll see that one by one. So before going for that, we'll see what are the advantages and what are the disadvantages of the open loop control system. So coming to the advantages, so open loop control system, we can see here it is very simple in construction because there is no complications. So whatever the input is there, depend on that output is given. So the construction is simple. It is very convenient when output is difficult to measure. So we're not going to measure anything here in respect of the output. Okay, so whatever the input is there and output will come as it is. Okay, so very convenient. So output will not be compared. So very convenient to use. So such systems are easy from maintenance. So here there is no problem with the maintenance, and these are not troubled with the problems of stability. Means these systems are more stable compared to the other systems, compared to the closed system. And such systems are simple in design and hence economical. So these are what 5 advantages of control systems. So coming disadvantages. So such systems are very inaccurate and unreliable because accuracy of such systems totally dependent on the accurate p-calibration of the controller. That means so here, as you know, so output is completely dependent on the input. So how much accurate input value you give, so based on that the output will come. So any changes of the system, any external changes or internal changes will, whatever the changes are there, that may affect the output, but the system will not do any corrective action. So whatever the input are there, so corresponding to that output will come. That's why you have to do the calibration for take a fan regulator. Okay, so due to dust, due to rust of the blade, something like that, you can see the fan may not working properly. Okay, so wind is not coming as you want, even you put 5 number or 4 number. So then what you do, you go for a repair or maintenance of the fan. So that is called as what, calibration. So that's why, so the calibration of the system is required regularly. So that's why you can say it is inaccurate and unreliable. You don't know what time it may working or it not working. And second one is the systems give inaccurate results if there are variations in the external environment, such as systems cannot sense environmental changes, as I said. So if there is a dust or something rust of the part is there, so the system will not work properly. You want to take the lamp. So if there is a variations in the current, high voltage or low voltage, the light will again vary, either a high glow or slow, very light glow. It will not do any corrective actions, just like using a stabilizer. Just how the current or voltage is there, like that only the light will glow, either very bright or very dull. So that's why it will give the inaccurate results, and it does not do any changes according to the changes in the environmental or external factors. Similarly, they cannot sense internal disturbance in the system after the control stage. In this sense, internal disturbance means what? Current or voltage. You take a lamp as an example. Okay, so either it is high voltage or low voltage. Okay, the light will glow high or bright or dull. So you want a constant light should be focused, but depending on the voltage, the light will also vary. So that's why you can say the system will not sense the internal disturbance. To maintain the quality and accuracy, recalibration of control is necessary from time to time. So that means what? You have to maintain these open loop systems continuously maintenance. So if you take a fan regulator, okay, you take a lamp, okay, so if there is any problem in the system, you have to go to the repairer and you have to do regular maintenance or regular checkup. That is called as what a calibration of the system. Okay, even when you do for lab, many of the machines you have seen, if they are not calibrated, you take any of the triple M or design lab machines are there, okay, or lathe you take, if they are not properly maintained or calibrated regularly, they will not work properly, or they will work but you will not get the accuracy what you require. So these are the what the disadvantages of the open loop systems. So now we'll go for some real time applications of the open loop system. So the very good example for open loop control system, we can take first one as a traffic light controller. So most of you were day to day in activities were passing through the traffic. Okay, so when you go to traffic, so it has three lights. One is a red, green, and yellow. So red means stop, yellow means you can start the engine, and green means you are free to move. So how that control system is working? So you know that they have fixed the timer. Okay, assume that we are in a circle having a four roads, and all people are coming from the all four roads. Okay, so traffic controller have fixed the timer, maybe uh, 15 seconds for red, 20 seconds for green, and 5 seconds for yellow. Okay, so like this is a time sequence, it has a fixed. But does the traffic control system vary as per the traffic actual in the road? No. So assume that in you have four roads, out of four roads, three roads are having very less traffic and one road is having heavy traffic, but still the control system will give same time as a 15 seconds for green, 15 seconds for red, 20 seconds for green, and 5 seconds for yellow. So actually it not sense, doesn't feel that okay, the road number 4 having high traffic, so I have to give more number of vehicles to move, and remaining three roads having less traffic, and for them I have to give less time. It doesn't work like that. So the input, you can see the block diagram here, the input is what the time they have fixed, 15 seconds for red, 20 seconds for green, or 5 seconds for yellow. Whatever the time they have fixed, it is fixed, it not vary as per the actual traffic on the road. And depend upon the input, the relays, the control will be work. So it is once red come, then green, then red, yellow, green. This is a sequence. After green again red will come, light will glow like that. That is a plant or a process. And output is what the actual traffic. So here you can see the actual traffic is what dependent on what the input. So you can say here our input is independent of the output. So whatever may be the traffic, so it not sense and do the required actions. So this is what a very good example for a traffic open loop control system. That is what a traffic light controller. Okay, as you can see, it is a predetermined time is fixed for the traffic. And you take second example for open loop control system, that is what a automatic door opening and closing system. So most of you visit always malls in the weekend, go for movies, or you can go for shopping. You see there they have automatic door opening as well as a closing system. How it works? Okay, so it based on the sensor. So they have a photosensitive device. Okay, so what happens when the door is closed? Okay, the light, the photosensitive device is there, and the light is passing continuously without any interruption. So that time the door is closed. So when a person comes near to the door, that light interrupts or get disturbed. So that time what happens? The photosensitive device sense that interrupted light, generate a signal, so to open the door. Okay. So then you enter to the mall. Then once you cross the door, and again the light which has been interrupted becomes a continuous. So when it become continuous, again the photosensitive device generate a signal, so make the door to close it. Okay, so what you can observe, so assume that suddenly there are 10 members are coming from some distance, so the door will not open for 10 members. So what it will do, whenever the light is interrupted, that time only it will open and close after that. So it will not work based on how many members are standing in front of the door or near to the door. Even you go lift also, so even lift also, so it is time is fixed, after 10 seconds the door will be closed. It will not you may be observed some of the advertisements, some person is coming, still the door has been closed. So that way it not sense the actual changes and do the fixed activities as it is. Okay, even you take a third good example of open loop control system is a automatic toaster system. So some of you may be having breakfast using this automatic toaster system. So what is input here? Input is a time. So time for heating of the bread is a fixed. Okay, output is what? The actual bread, how it got heated. Okay, so and the controller will give what the amount of time to be heat the bread, and there is a heating system inside which will heat for a certain period of time. For assume that for 20 seconds. So here it does not depend how the good bread it is made of. Whatever the bread you put it, it will heat for 10 seconds or 20 seconds of the time you have fixed. It will not check the taste. It will not check the bread quality and okay, bread quality is very good, I have to go for 5 seconds. The bread quality is not good, I have to go for 10 seconds. No. So just whatever the you give the bread, it will heat maybe 20 seconds and it just give it out. Taste will be decided by you only. You can't tell to the toaster that okay, you heat less or heat more. Okay, so whatever the time you have fixed, so that time, based on that time, it will heat the bread and give it to you. Okay, so again you can see here whatever the output is there, it does not it is not any reflecting on the input. Like that you can see lot of examples are in the our day-to-day activities which are a open loop. You take a fan regulator. Okay, so in the morning, maybe in the night we have too much humidity, you take a put a 5 number or 4 number, but in the morning, so there is a little bit cold weather, so the it not sense and account come back to the 1 number or 2 number. We have to go manually and change it to 2 number and 1 number. So again you can see it is not sensing the actual output or what is the also happening surrounding. So even the automatic coffee machine or tea machine, so there is again fixed amount of water, fixed amount of milk, fixed amount of the tea powder is to be there. It will mix together all together and give it back. It will not check the quality of the milk, it will not check the quality of the water, it will not check quality of the tea powder. It will mix fixed quantity and stir it and give it to the tea to you. So these are what some of the simple example for a open loop control system. So in the exam they are going to ask you define open loop control system, advantages, disadvantages, and give some of the real time applications. So these are the applications. Okay, now we'll go for what a closed loop control system. So in open loop control system, what the output is dependent on the input or input is completely independent of the output. Now coming to the closed system, a system in which the input is dependent on the changes of the output. Listen carefully. What is a closed loop system? Closed system is one where the input is dependent on the changes in the output. That is called as a closed loop system. How it is? The open loop system uses a one element called as a feedback element or feedback system. So what this feedback system will do in the closed loop system? So this feedback loop is absent in the open loop, but if you add the feedback system, so the system is called as a closed loop system. So what is the main role of the feedback system? the feedback system, what will do, it will compare the output signal of the system to the input signal of the system, and is there any difference, okay, is there any difference, then it will generate a error signal. It will generate a error signal, so that depend upon the error signal, again the control system, the input can be changed, the proper action should be taken, so that whatever the desired property you want, you can achieve based on that. Okay, so what we have in the cloud control system, we have feedback element which will compare the output signal to the input signal. If there is any difference, it will generate the error signal and will send back to the controller, which will do the necessary action to get a required value. Okay, so if you see the block diagram here, so it is bit of a you can see here what we have. One is a reference input, okay, then error detector, then controller, then process to be controlled or processor you can say, then actual output or controlled output. Okay, so this controlled output C of t is compared to the input signal, reference input. Okay, you can see feedback element is there. Okay, it will compare, is there any difference of these two, it is minus or positive, it may be minus or it is a positive value, what are the value, either it is increase or decrease, so that way either it is increase or decrease, minus means decrease, positive means increase. So it will compare the output to the input and send that error signal to the controller, and this controller will do the necessary action. It will generate a signal called as a manipulated signal, so that will be passed to the process, which will do the again the remaining, whether you want to increase the temperature or you have to decrease the temperature. So the good examples for closed control systems are what, AC, okay, AC control room, or our iron system, modern iron systems are there. Okay, and you can take the room heating systems, or you can take or when you're riding the four-wheeler, you can take the speed controller also. Okay, so we'll take one of the some of the examples for a closed loop control system. So first you take a very simple example. First we'll go for advantages and disadvantages, then we'll take a real-time applications. So just take advantage, compare this to open loop. So what you can see, accuracy of such system is always very high, because we have feedback system, okay, which will compare output to the input. So that's why it will generate error required. So accuracy is very high. Second one, it will sense the environmental changes, as I said, okay, internal disturbance as well as external disturbance. So what you can see, if there is a high voltage or low voltage, you can see a stabilizer. When you using a TV, we have a stabilizer, whether it is a high voltage or low voltage, the stabilizer what will do, it will give the constant voltage or constant current. If it is very less voltage, it will amplify it, very high voltage it will reduce it and give you constant voltage, so that you can able to see TV properly without affecting its performance. Okay, that's why it is sensitive to the environmental changes. Third one, in such system there is a reduced effect of the non-linearities and distortions, means so there is not much effect of the external environment, external activities. Okay, next, bandwidth of such system, that is operating frequency zone for such system is very high, so it can operate for a higher range frequencies. Coming to disadvantages, such systems are complicated, as you know, because we have feedback system is obviously the systems are complicated and they are time consuming for a design point of view, as well as we can say it is costlier. Coming to next, second one, due to feedback system, so as it tries to correct the error from time to time, as it compare the output to the input, the error is generated. So what happens, there is sometime overcorrection of the error happens. So even it is not required, maybe assume that you have to increase the temperature 10 degrees Celsius, it may increase 20 degrees Celsius. or it may decrease 10 degrees Celsius, it may decrease 20 degrees Celsius. So sometimes there is a overcorrection of the error. So that means we can say the stability of such systems are not so high compared to the open loop systems. Okay, these are the advantages. Just go through it. This is what theory part. So not too much to go for a detail. Come forward, we will take some of the real-time applications of closed loop control systems. You can find so many in the day-to-day activities. Okay, so we'll go for simple real-time applications. So first one, you take our automatic iron system, electric iron. So most of you using it automatic electric iron system. So what you decide temperature based on cloth may be the woolen cloth or maybe it is a cotton. So woolen means what you do, you have go for a lesser temperature. If you have cotton, you go for a higher temperature. Assume that you're doing a woolen cloth, so you need maybe 40 degrees Celsius temperature. What you set there is a knob in the iron. You set that woolen. So woolen means when you turn that knob to woolen, so it will fix the temperature to 40 degrees Celsius, for example. Okay, so that is a required desired input. So that is a required output, you can say. Okay, then you switch on the electric iron. So immediately it is not a 40 degrees Celsius. Okay, so maybe it is a beginning 10 degrees Celsius. So that 10 degrees Celsius, that is the input. Okay, that compared to the output is what 40 degrees Celsius what you require. So again there is a difference of 30 degrees Celsius. And what the feedback will do, feedback comparing what I'm saying here, the thermostat compare 10 degrees Celsius to the 40 degrees Celsius, and there is a difference of minus 30 degrees Celsius. Then it will send error signal to the controller and it will increase the temperature. When it is increased temperature, it will generate a signal so that increase the temperature to the electric furnace. Okay, then so assume that the temperature has been raised to 30 degrees Celsius. Again 30 degrees Celsius compared to the 40 degrees Celsius. Again there is difference of 10 degrees Celsius by thermostat. So that 10 degrees Celsius error signal will be sent to the again controller. Again it will increase the temperature, send a signal to the plant or iron that increase the temperature by 10 degrees Celsius. And at the end it reaches a 40 degrees Celsius. Then for input is 40 degrees Celsius and output also 40 degrees Celsius. That time you can see both are constant achieved whatever the required temperature. You may observe the iron, automatic electric iron switch off automatically. Okay, until the temperature increase or decrease, then you can doing the ironing of the cloths. Okay, so even you take our refrigerator, the refrigerator work the same way. The surrounding the inside when you open the door, suddenly there is an increase of temperature. Okay, when you close the door, again what happens, the temperature inside and what you set the temperature again compared like this, and until it will increase or decrease the temperature using the thermostat, both will come as a same constant value. Okay, this is the role of the feedback system. So we'll take one more example of this. Okay, so take the second home heating system, or you can take our AC controlled system. So we can compare both, both will work in the same manner. One side will increase, one side will decrease. So I'll go for what assume that it is a room cooling system. Instead of room heating system, take as you can write in the same manner. It is not a difference. So or AC, what you use in the hotels or some of you using in the home. Okay. So in the summertime, maybe before sleeping in a room, you set the temperature as a 25 degrees Celsius. That is what the required temperature or desired temperature you want, 25 degrees Celsius. But you switch on the AC, is it suddenly within a second you reach 25 degrees Celsius? No, because the outside or room temperature, assume that it is a 40 degrees Celsius. Okay, when switch on the AC, so what the thermostat, that is working as a feedback, what it will do, it will compare outside temperature, that room temperature to 40 degrees Celsius to desired what you set as a 25 degrees Celsius. There is difference of 15 degrees Celsius, that means it is a minus, that means it has to increase the temperature. So what it will do, it will do the thermostat will send the error signal to the controller, and the controller will generate a signal so that increasing of a temperature, reducing of a temperature to the plant or a furnace, and temperature has been reduced to maybe 40 degrees Celsius to 35. Again this 35 degrees Celsius compared to 25, again there is difference of 10 degrees Celsius. Again there is error signal will be generated by the thermostat. It will send to the controller, and the controller will manipulate a signal sent to the furnace or plant, and again the temperature has been temperature has been reduced, maybe come for a 30. Again 30 compared to 25, again there is a error generated by thermostat. Again send signal to the controller, controller will generate a manipulated signal to decrease the temperature to the plant, plant again will decrease the temperature. Assume that now after maybe half an hour or maybe 1 hour, the room temperature is 25 degrees Celsius as you desired or you have set in before sleeping. So once it reached the same as output temperature is equal to input temperature, then what happens, the automatically the AC will be go off. Okay, so again the AC will be suddenly switch on when the room temperature either decreased or increased beyond. Maybe sometime in winter season or morning time, the room temperature has been reduced to what, 20 degrees Celsius, but you set as 25. So again there is a difference of 5 degrees Celsius. That time it have to increase the temperature, not reduce. So that error of 5 degrees Celsius to increase will send to the controller, controller will send to the furnace, furnace will increase the temperature again to make it to a 25 degrees Celsius. Okay, so again once it reach both the same temperature, again it will go automatically off. So such a way, using thermostat as a feedback, the output is compared to the input, and the necessary action will be taken. Okay, this is a second real-time application. You can use the same example as a room heating system. Okay, you can write the explanation in a reverse way. In room heating system, you want to increase the temperature. These room heating systems generally used in Western countries like European countries, Denmark, Holland, Switzerland, US, some of the country, Germany, where the temperature is in a minus degree Celsius, where we have to increase the room temperature. Okay, even in Kashmir, or in Delhi in the winter time, the temperature go up to 0 degrees Celsius or minus 10 degrees Celsius or minus 40, whatever it is. Okay, so that time you can't sleep on that temperature. What they use, they use a room heating system, which will what, they will increase the temperature, it will not decrease, it will increase the temperature of the room or system as you set before sleeping, just in the reverse manner as you AC. In our states or our place, we use a air conditioner system, but if you go to Kashmir or some of the countries where the temperature is below 0 degrees Celsius or below 20 degrees Celsius, they use a room heating systems. Same manner, right, in a different way. That's all. I hope you understand this. Okay, so this is the third example for a closed loop control systems. So whenever they ask in the exam, explain with the real-time applications of a closed loop control system. So define what is a control system. Okay, then take real-time examples, whether you take electric iron, automatic electric iron, or you can use AC control room or room heating systems with a block diagram. Remember, block diagram drawing is a very important. You can't just only explain, you have to explain with a block diagram, then only you will get a correct marks, otherwise there will be reduction of the marks. Okay, at the end, last topic we'll take for today, that is a comparison of a open loop and a closed loop control system. Okay, so just in open loop, you go definition, any change in the output has no effect on the input. So that means what, output is independent of the input. Here any change in the output affect the input. That means what, the output is input is dependent on the output. So open loop system, feedback doesn't exist, closed loop feedback exists. Coming to open loop, output measurement is not required. In the closed loop, output measurement is necessary because you are going to compare. Feedback element is absent, feedback element is present. Open loop, error detector is absent. In closed loop, error detector is necessary. It is inaccurate and unreliable in open loop. Closed loop, highly reliable and accurate. Coming to open loop, highly sensitive to the disturbances, less sensitive to the disturbances, highly sensitive to the environmental changes, less sensitive to the environmental changes. Open loop bandwidth is small, closed loop bandwidth is high. Open loop simple in construction and cheap, means less cost. Coming to closed loop, complicated to design and hence high cost. Open loop generally more stable in nature, closed loop less stable due to the using of a feedback system. Open loop highly affected by non-linearities, closed loop affected reduced effect of non-linearities. Okay, so these are comparison between open loop and closed loop. So sometimes they're going to ask you 5 to 6 marks or 10 marks. Explain the comparison between open loop and a control loop system. You can see there also they have asked in 2005, 7, 9, 2006, 7, 10, 11 like that. Okay, so I hope you understood the open loop control systems and closed loop control systems with the real-time examples. Just to go through these topics. Okay, if you have any doubts, just make a call. Okay, and meanwhile also I send you the notes for this class. Okay, in the next class we'll go for the ideal requirement for the control systems. Okay, thank you.